If you're an agribusiness, listen up, because there's a question you really need to be asking yourself. Is our changing climate putting your next loan at risk? Today, we're going to unpack how those two things are way more connected than you might think. Okay, let's get into it. It's a pretty intense thought, right? But the reality is, unpredictable weather is fast becoming a massive factor in lending decisions. The stakes for your business are incredibly high, and honestly, understanding this link is absolutely essential for your financial future. So let's break down exactly how this works. It's not just about one bad harvest. It's about a whole chain reaction that has banks and investors, well, they're paying very close attention. So it all kicks off with something called climate stress. We're talking more frequent droughts, out-of-nowhere floods, crazy heat waves, and rainfall that's just all over the place. These aren't once-in-a-lifetime events anymore. For a lot of people, this is just the new normal. And that stress, it doesn't just hang out in the atmosphere. Nope, it hits the ground hard. And that creates immediate operational stress. This is the stuff you can actually see and feel. We're talking everything from lower yields and total crop failure to real damage to your infrastructure, like your irrigation systems or storage buildings. And from there, it's a straight line to the last and, let's be honest, the most painful step, financial stress. See, when your operations get hit, your revenue tanks. All of a sudden, you're looking at major cash flow problems, and your ability to pay back loans, your creditworthiness, it takes a huge nosedive. You see how this works? It's a total domino effect. Climate stress knocks over operational stress, which then topples your financial stability. These are not separate things. It's a direct sequence. And you can bet that when a lender looks at your business, they're looking for this exact cycle of risk. Let's make this super real for a second. Imagine a tomato farm gets hammered by some insane, unusual rains. The operational hit is instant, and it's devastating. We're talking up to a 70% crop loss. But the financial pain? That sticks around long after the fields dry out. You've lost all that income you were counting on. But guess what? You still got to pay for labor, for supplies. A 2-day storm just sparked a months-long financial crisis. Okay, so we've seen how this feels on the ground. But now let's flip the script. Let's step into the lender's shoes for a minute. What do they see when they look at an agribusiness in this new climate reality? Before a lender even glances at your balance sheet, they're trying to answer these 4 huge questions. Notice all the keywords here: sustainable, reliable, stable, survive. Every single one of them is directly challenged by climate change. A business could be profitable, but if it's seen as too risky, it's just not a good investment. Simple as that. And here's a peek into their playbook for how they figure that out. They analyze your revenue vulnerability. Like, are you all in on one crop that needs perfect rainfall? They look at asset exposure. Is your firm literally sitting in a floodplain? And maybe most importantly, they check out your adaptive capacity. What's your plan when things inevitably go wrong? And at the end of the day, all that analysis gets boiled down to one simple thing: a risk score. And that score pretty much decides your fate. If you're low risk, you get the loan. Moderate risk, you might get less than you asked for or get tougher terms. And if you're seen as high risk, well, the answer is often a flat-out no. All right, that all sounds pretty grim, I know. But here's where it gets interesting, and it's really good news. You have the power to flip this entire dynamic on its head. It's time to stop playing defense against risk and start playing offense with a powerful advantage. The magic word here is resilience. But what does that really mean? It's so much more than just being tough. It's about having a real system in place to prepare for, absorb, and, this is the key part, recover quickly from climate shocks, all while keeping your business running and the money coming in. So, how do you actually build that resilience? Well, the main toolkit is something called Climate Smart Agriculture, or CSA. This could be anything from using seeds that are more drought-resistant to diversifying your crops to putting in smart water-saving irrigation. To a funder, seeing these kinds of things in your business plan is a giant green flag that you get it, that you take risks seriously. And this is the absolute key takeaway. Being resilient isn't just a feel-good environmental goal. It's a killer financial strategy. It leads to more consistent yields, less volatility, and fatter profit margins. That all adds up to stronger cash flow, which makes you look fantastic on paper. And the result? You become a way more attractive borrower, which gets you better loans with lower interest rates. Let's make this crystal clear. The best way to really get the financial impact of all this is to look at a tale of 2 farmers. It shows you everything you need to know. So on the left, we've got Farmer A. This farmer is basically gambling with the weather every single year, totally dependent on rainfall with no backup plan. A lender sees this as high risk, unstable, just vulnerable. But then look at farmer B on the right. This is a whole different story. They've invested in resilience. They're using irrigation, drought-resistant seeds. They've got the records to prove their production is consistent. To a lender, this isn't just a better farmer, it's a smarter, safer investment. And the outcome? It's night and day. And if you're a lender, this is what you see. Farmer A's income, it's all over the place, up and down, completely unpredictable. Farmer B's income, it's stable, it's reliable, it's rock solid. Now, if you're the one asking for a loan, which of these charts do you want representing your business? It's a no-brainer. So you've seen the difference. The most important question now is, how do you become Farmer B? How do you get there? Well, this last section is your practical roadmap to becoming way more bankable, even as the climate keeps changing. Here it is. Think of this as your climate finance readiness checklist. It's broken down into 4 key areas. 1. Awareness and planning. You gotta know your risks. 2. Production resilience. Use those smart practices we talked about. 3. Business stability. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And 4. Financial discipline. Keep great records. Ticking these boxes is exactly how you build a business that's not just resilient, but truly bankable. Look, if there's just one thing you remember from all this, make it this. The more you can prove how resilient your business is, the more you prove how creditworthy you are. In the eyes of a funder, those two things are quickly becoming one and the same. And that brings us to our final thought, and it's not a statement, it's a question for you. Based on everything we've covered, what's the first investment in resilience, the single most impactful step you can start planning for in your business right now? Seriously, thinking about that is your first step toward building a more profitable and much more secure financial future.